Dr. Ivan Beavis let out a sigh of relief. He'd been working hard in his lab for 3 days straight, only taking light breaks for food, use of the bathroom, and the occasional power nap. Ivan appreciated pleasure as much as any other person, but he considered his work to come before any sort of leisure. Such was the mantra of the doctor and his trusted assistant Richard. The two were co-workers and considered one another friends. Yes, Richard and Ivan were as diligent as they come, and the laboratory walls were decorated with prizes and plaques for their accomplishments in the sciences, especially medicine.
"Hey, Richard, come here a second!"
Ivan exclaimed, followed by his always delightfully gruff laugh.
"I believe the chemical solution is..."
Ivan, can you see I'm busy here? Richard was in the process of diagramming the spiders they had extracted the base ingredient of the serum from.
"Are you threatening me?"
Ivan responded with a defensive tone of voice. The two stared at each other before letting out a sigh. Then hugs were exchanged.
"Rich, you know I'd never be angry at you. It's just that I think we're on the verge of finishing this godforsaken thing."
Richard smiled. Of course he knew that was all right. The very thought of a confrontation, no way. A story about Beavis and Butthead. It's always been all for one and one for all. If an attractive woman eyed one of them, there would be only an advance if one of the other was comfortable. Of course, in the interest of production of their work, rarely was a flirtation reciprocated. If there was only one piece of a meal left, it would come down to a mutually agreed upon coin flip. If there was a new product delivered to the lab, the first person to try it would be the one judged to be the most genuinely enthusiastic about it. No, not greed, not envy, not gluttony. Nothing could come between the inseparable professional pals.
"All right, let's have a look at those tubes to see if we can mix a spider's DNA with a human's."
Before Richard could get off his stool and on two legs, a knock on the lab door was heard. The two scientists weren't ones to show rudeness to any visitor or co-worker, and they raced one another to be the first to warmly greet their new guest.
"All right, please. You've been working very hard all day, and there's certainly been performing much more laborious computational work than these past few days. Allow me."
Ivan modestly nodded and smiled before being taken off guard. Before Richard could reach his destination, rapid twists of the knob and bangs of the old wooden door were easily made audible.
"Hold your horses, friend!"
A twist of the hand from the host, a creaked open door, and... "Beavis and Dick! We don't have all day or month, and certainly not all year. We have visitors who need to see results ASAP. No contribution, no reward, no funding, no lab." Although the doctors were especially emotionally sensitive, they took their boss's demands at face value. Sure, their boss was a constant irritated state, but he simply wanted what was best for them, they thought. Besides, they felt that it was only morally right to expect their elders and authority figures.
"Mr. Van Driesen, the serum is prepared! We simply wanted to fist it on some more lab rats before we handed it over for inspection!" "Oh, my precious boy scientists!"
Van Driesen responded in a sudden soft and paternal tone of voice.
"I didn't mean to rush you, but it seems like the medical tech ventures folks are here and ready for business. If we don't have the product now, they might not be ready for us ever."
Ivan responded.
"In most cases like these, I would never hand over something so sensitive. We have performed extensive studies these past few days."
I just want to remind you that this story is about Beavis and Butthead. The mice are navigating... mazes over 75% faster.
"Even when there's no food reward at the end. They're swimming from side to side in pool boxes like little Mark Spitzes.
They're great, I'm sure, but Ivan, the product, please." An order was an order, and the boy geniuses responded like military men, in clockwork fashion. During the following 2 hours, there was waiting. Tons and tons of fucking waiting. The doctors were ready to doze off to sleep, but they just couldn't. Mr. Sandman be damned. No dreams to be brought except for the ones from the research reward committees for the advancement of the human species, in this case the advancement of both desire and intellect, to allow men to be their own super race, if and only folks would be willing and wanting, of course. And now another knock on the door, this time much gentler and much more patient. Richard, shaking with anticipation, opened the door, and it was Van Driesen, and only Van Driesen, again.
"Oh, boys, MTV is more than pleased with what they see.
When they learned that you could change in the rats that had the reverse effect in humans... Ivan screeched.
Reverse effect? Are you?
Needles pierced the sides of Ivan and Rich, and within what seemed like milliseconds, golden slumbers filled their eyes.
Oh boy!
Ivan awakened in a small room at the corner end of the lab sector of their building. His memory was a hazy shade of winter, so hazy that he didn't remember how, and certainly not why, he ended up tied and shackled to a chair in this little used corridor. He remembered working on something big, something meaningful, but for what it was a great big blur. It could have been paper, it could have been plans, it could have been how to spend time in the coming weeks, it could have even been serum. Yeah, that was it, serum. But even though he remembered that significant detail, he didn't feel like following it up with any further investigation. Despite sleeping for what seemed like a long time, who knows how long, and being fully rested, he'd rather just stare at the wall ahead of him, with his mouth twisted and open and his eyebrows cocked in a slightly aggressive way. It was like he was reverting into some sort of animal stage. And yet he didn't care. He knew it. He knew he was losing his competence, curiosity, and capacity for benevolence. And yet he didn't care. He didn't know if he was happier this way. He didn't think about whether he was happier this way. He just stared ahead.
All right, let me see our subject here.
Said in a loud voice of a large man. It sounded like he hadn't used the bathroom in ages. No, okay.
Are you threatening me?
Ivan impulsively and unsarcastically inquired.
Oh no, in fact, you're about to have a job. You see, medical tech ventures the kind you deceive your boy, Dr. Anderson. You're about to be famous for something other than medicine.
Let me get your buddy, Dick.
Dick buddy. Dick butt. Head butt. Butthead.
Sure, all right. In the meantime, here's some coffee to get you started. There are going to be a lot of tests for you boys to take, so get pepped up. Dr. Anderson untied and unbounded Dr. Beavis. At this point, there was no sense in calling him doctor anymore. He would never exercise science again, except to investigate if, say, a large magnifying glass could burn alive several armies of ants. Ivan sipped his coffee at first like a hesitant little chimp, and then he drank it a lot very quickly.
I am the great Cornholio!
Okay, I didn't think there were any Native American populations around here. It could help us with that. Dr. Anderson used a needle to knock Beavis back out. It was going to be a long day. The end.